brand for how this would go. We're live. All right,
There we go.
Bengals. What the hell are we doing at guard? We got a little information on where things stand with Trey Hendrickson, and we're getting jazzed up for Reds opening day. At least I know I am. Big Reds guy, have a jersey. You can't argue the fact that I'm a huge Reds guy. We're going to talk a little bit about everything. I got the Reds scrimmage with the Dragons on the TV whenever it starts. We can maybe see if anybody hits piss missiles while we're live. That and more coming up next on Cincy Unfiltered.
Your boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go. Our boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go.
What is up? What is up, Cincinnati, the tri-state area, the millions listening across the land? We got a pretty good show for you tonight, I think. Not a ton of stuff going on. Luckily, we've had some news break in the past couple of hours here that we'll talk about. How we doing? How we doing tonight, Drew?
I'm just playing with fire,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not a ton going on in the Bengals world, but we do got Reds opening day on the way. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to have my first opening day experience. Shout out Ryan. Appreciate you noticing my haircut. At least somebody did.
I was going to say, fresh cut.
Yeah, I don't wear a hat for a couple days after a really, the barber's really dialed in. I gotta let the world see it for a couple days before I throw the lid back on.
I don't blame you.
You didn't say anything about me getting my hair done on Thursday, so I don't want to hear it.
Is this really happening right now?
You didn't know it.
Please shut the door.
This is a live show, folks. You never know who's going to show up. I think first things first. I don't know what order you have the graphics in. So let's pop up what you got in the shoot first, and let's go, man.
I was caught in 4K.
Yeah.
And, oh no, from Cam in the chat. Check in with the chat here real quick, then we'll get to it. Tony Blaze is here. Shout out. K Breezy's in here. 17th Sons is in there. I need to talk to him, by the way, about something not related to sports. I need to send him a DM. I don't know what WSG means, Logan. If you could tell me, is there some lingo that I'm too old and don't understand?
I don't either.
Hey, Alex is back. Alex hasn't been here in a while. What's up, Alex? Shout out to you. Brent got the hair right. Yeah. Shout out to the People's Barber. All sports barbers in Centerville. Free ad. We're gonna be a good set. Nice hair. Another nice haircut from a random Josh. We're glad you're here. Darth Bingo's here. Everybody's here. I don't want to get too distracted. God, lots of comments. Love you guys. Show's canceled. I'm in the doghouse. Flirting with it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I found out who the other Josh is. Big moment for us. We got a new viewer.
Oh, good. Love that. Love it. Red's jersey compliments.
Yeah, shout out Lumpkin down there in Texas, watching the boys from Texas.
Love it.
I do normally wear a hat. I made the decision to buzz all my hair off 6 months ago or so. I've been rolling with this ever since. So yeah. Wife's hair does look great. She just, they like to make it about themselves when they can, I guess. But let's talk about some of the biggest Bengals news that has happened since our last episode. Oh my God, we signed Lucas Patrick, and you may be wondering, who the hell's Lucas Patrick? And that's a good question.
Yeah.
He's a guard / center. Played last year with New Orleans, going into year 10 this year. Some good numbers from him last year. I think he played 10 games, no sacks given up, pretty low pressure number, but not a guy that moves the needle for me. I hope this is a competition for depth more than it is a starter solution. And very interested in the helmet choice. That thing is huge.
Yeah, he definitely does have the old George Kittle spaceship helmet. Bringing him in is definitely a fight for that number 2 spot, I would think. Hopefully we add someone else. I really, really hope we add someone else. Oh my God. I do not think this is a guy you're bringing in to really change the face of the offensive line. It's not a big wow signing. Glad to have him on the team, of course. It's always good to throw meat into the trenches, into the grinder. But I really would like another guy on top of Lucas Patrick.
Options are getting a little bit slim out there.
Yeah.
This was a comment that caught me off. Baton Rouge checking in to the chat.
Oh,
Shout
what
out
up?
Baton Rouge. Big. I don't know how you feel about him. Mixed feelings about him down there in BR. Big Kevin Gates fan. Shout out to Gates. Shout out Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah.
My barber needs a raise. I tip him 100%. So whatever the haircut costs, I tip him the same amount. He has paid well.
Okay, money bags. Jesus. All right. Whatever.
It's a $20 haircut. I tip him $20.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
But that kind of segues into, I guess, maybe the main topic of the show is like, what the hell are we doing at guard at this point? Because like the market's drying up. Obviously, Tevin Jenkins goes to Cleveland. Debates on if he's there to play tackle, if he's there as a backup. I don't know. Brandon Scherf's still out there. I think retirement's a real option for him. You got like the Will Hernandez guys out there, but man, it is slim pickings on the guard market. Are we drafting a guard or two and rolling with some super young guys in the interior of the line? Because that's kind of scary.
It is kind of scary, and I'm popping up some good old notes here because why not get a little bit prepared? You're looking in the draft here. If you don't bring in a guy like Sheriff, Tyler Booker, I don't really want to mess with Tyler Booker. I don't think he's going to be a good fit here.
No,
you've got. I don't want Tyler Booker. You've got some centers in there that could play guard, and Jaron Wilson, and my guy, the people's mullet, Tate Ratledge, which I think you would be hard pressed to even get at 49 at this point. It's going to be tough. There's some guys in the middle to later rounds, Luke Kandra, a guy from Ohio State, Connor Colby from Iowa. There's guys there, right? Willie, what is his name? Lampkid from North Carolina. But look, I don't want to rely on that. I don't think anybody wants to rely on that, right? You don't want to draft a new guy and just say, guess what? Go play football. Did it work out with a guy like Amarius Mims? Yes. But I don't see an Amarius Mims at guard in this draft. I see guys that can come in and absolutely play. But I really would like a veteran in there. I've seen a couple tackles kind of being mocked as potential guards in the NFL. That kind of happens. Some guys can play tackle in college, but you get to the big leagues and it gets a little bit harder. So they play you inside. So there's a lot of options on the table in the draft, but I don't want to rely on that. That's just not, I don't think, the right answer.
I think we're at the point where we're pretty much going to have to.
Yeah.
I mean, at least at one of the spots. I mean, but dude, and I know I did the Cody Ford bit all last season because that chick is so fucking overwhelmingly obnoxious. But
yeah,
he is 100% in the competition for left guard. He is going to battle with Cordell Volson, and I think whoever wins that battle is going to be the starting left guard. And I don't know that we're going to have a chance to really do anything else about it. I think if you sign Scherf, he's probably going to play on the right side. Or if you're able to get your hands on Ratledge, he might start the right side. But I don't know. My confidence that they're going to sign anybody off the free agent market that is a capable starter at this point is just at an all-time low. So I think you're dealing with a Volson or Ford at left guard, and then right guard is going to be maybe Lucas Patrick, maybe Jackson Kirkland. They were kind of trying to gas Jackson Kirkland up after that Tennessee game last year. They did re-sign him. But there's just going to have to be a guard drafted. Like I'm not a guy that I don't want to take Tyler Booker at 17. Like I don't think I dislike Booker as a prospect as much as you do.
That's what I mean.
But
that's
not at 17.
Yeah.
And I think he probably goes in the first.
Yeah. That's what I mean. At 17, he's not my favorite guard in the draft even, but if he's going to go as high as, I don't know, 20s, 30s, I'm not going to reach and go, shit, we need a guard at 17 and take Tyler Booker. Absolutely not. No, I am praying and hoping that a guy like Ratledge is there at, what are we, 49? I can't
49 in the second, but dude,
49,
I'm trading up for Tate Ratledge if I have to. I don't know what it would take.
I don't think they do it, but yeah, it'd be
Probably
cool.
not.
Yeah. I don't know if they do it, but that would be totally kick ass. I think that would be an incredible addition to the interior, but I do think you might be right. I mean, I think we might be looking at a, Cody Ford, Cordell Volson, and the new blood coming in fighting for a guard spot, which that's not ideal. I do really like Cody Ford. I love his versatility, but I like Cody Ford off the bench if a guy tweaks a hammy, That's kind of where I want him at. I want a really reliable guy in front of him. And we just might not see that this year, which is kind of frustrating. I mean, you give the organization their flowers. They got the big deals done. But right now it's just like, whoa, hold on. There's still more to do. And it just doesn't seem to be happening.
Yeah. And that's where, like, out of the guys that are in the room now, Cody Ford has your highest upside potential.
Absolutely. 100%.
I like, and maybe that's what they're going with. And it's the old saying that we've been talking about all offseason. The Bengals just don't value the guard position. I don't fucking know why. Yeah. I can't understand why after they've watched themselves lose massive football games because of interior pressure from the fucking guards. But it's just not a position that they want to spend a bunch of money on. Stephon Diggs to the Patriots, 3 years, $69 million.
Wow. Coming off of a Russell Wilson to the Giants news, big free agency day then, huh? Yeah, all is not quiet. Yeah. This whole thing about not valuing a certain position when it's directly tied to your quarterback being like a top 5 hit guy in the NFL is absurd to me. I don't know if it's them like actually physically and mentally not valuing the position, like making the decision not to value it. But the proof is in the pudding, right? I mean, we did go get guys like Kappa. We did, you know what I mean? We signed guys, right? Like, and Kappa was good when he was good, and he was horrendous when he was horrendous, and that's why he's no longer on the team. So I struggle to think that they're just like, yeah, we'll roll the dice at guard. I'm not worried about it, but I don't know. I don't even know if they have talked to Sheriff. I don't know if an offer's on the table. I don't even know if Sheriff is even interested in playing in Cincinnati or if Bengals Twitter is just doing what Bengals Twitter does and, breathing life into this situation. But right now, I don't like where we're at guard.
Yeah, I don't love it at all. It's a good potential solution here though from Gatto. Put Ford next to Orlando Brown, so on the right side they were college teammates. I'm sorry, that would put him on the left side. I'm an idiot. That would put him on the left side, and then Tate Ratledge, the Mims college teammate, on the right side. You got a couple that actually means something. Guys that have played next to each other on the offensive line, that absolutely means something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it. More than just offensive line. Look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I mean, if there's a previous connection, there's a previous connection. Absolutely.
I got called on my shit.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. Matt Schultz here. What happened to the mullet?
I did commit to regrowing that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot that I did commit to that, but
maybe
now that you say it,
maybe it's a football season thing. How about that?
It's tough, man, because like right here, when I go too long without a haircut, old dad's getting a little thin up top. So this hair is growing up, and a certain spot just isn't keeping up with it. So I gotta keep it trimmed low. But I do remember I did talk about bringing the mullet back. I'm a fucking fraud.
You're being asked when you committed to that.
Well, if supportive wife that watched the show would know that. But
oh my God.
But Big Tiger with a good comment. Oh yeah. Breezy says Booker's not him too. Big Tiger with a good comment. If you sign Brandon Sheriff, whatever the fuck it is, draft Tate Ratledge with a crap ton of depth there as well, we could be set. And that's true. Yeah. It's one of those situations where you just need an infusion of talent in that position group and let the cream rise at the top. Let them battle it out in training camp.
Yeah. Yeah. Competition.
Have training camp like a fucking man, Zach.
Yeah, competition breeds excellence, man. Absolutely, I agree. Get as many bodies in the room, and then when it's all said and done, cut the ones that are on the ground bleeding. I absolutely agree with
that. We can move on to this. Pay trade seems more likely, which is sweet. So it seems to be like the Bengals are not trading Trey Hendrickson. So a little bit before we went live, this video came out from Jordan Schultz. Jordan Schultz is turning into the go-to guy for Bengals news. He broke the Jamar Chase and T. Higgins news while at dinner with them. He was on the Lucas Patrick thing pretty early too. So he seems to, Schefter, I think he likes to shit on the Bengals because he's not plugged in, is really what I think. Rappaport's kind of whatever, but I think Schultz might be our guy here.
Pause.
We got.
He was at dinner with Jamar and T?
They were at dinner when he sent the tweet out. The three of them were at a dinner table. There was a picture and everything. Yeah.
Really? And what did they say? Yeah, break the news. We signed it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think T's whole thing was like, I'm going to let you guys know first. T tweeted out the handshake emoji, and then like 45 seconds later, Schultz is like, "Bam, deals are done." They were at dinner in Miami when it happened.
I did not know that. That is really cool. Okay, you learned something new. All right, Trey Hendrickson.
So this video came from Schultz today, and I think it holds weight because I think he is kind of becoming the legitimate plug for Bengals news. Guy doesn't even have to grind like this. He's a rich kid. Dad owns Starbucks, but he's still beating Ian Rappaport up at Starbucks at the Combine and breaking news, and I really fucking like the guy.
Yeah.
My understanding of the Trey Hendrickson situation, Dave, is that the organization and ownership are fully prepared to move forward and attempt to negotiate a deal with him. I don't believe they want to trade him at all. And I actually would say, after talking to multiple people involved, that they have now reached the conclusion that a trade is really off the table. So that's great news for Bengals fans. Now it really becomes, can both sides reach a fair agreement? Can they come together and find a number that works for not only Trey, but obviously the organization? And that's essential to this entire process. Now, last week, the Texans extended Danielle Hunter, and that was a big move for a lot of reasons. Obviously, the money, but same age, same position, both all-pro caliber players at the arguably the second most important position in the league. That extension now provides a potential blueprint.
Love him. He loves to yell. He's yelling into that microphone.
I'm a loud motherfucker too.
Yeah, I love hearing that. I really do. Schultz has been locked in. I mean, if anybody's going to know right now and have a good grip and hold on the situation, it's him. I like that. I think I like. And look, guys, this is going to go one of two ways. They are either going to sign Trey to a fair, equitable deal. He's going to play football here for a couple more years, and we're going to get, what's left in the tank from the guy. Or because it's been stated that the trade's off the table, they're going to completely fuck this up. He's going to play this year and walk or sit out and be mad. Like it's one.
He's not going to sit out.
I know. I'm just saying it's one or the other. It is either best case scenario at this point or worst case scenario at this point, if in fact the trade is off the table. So I like hearing the trade's off the table. I'm going to think positively because they crossed the finish line with our two racehorses and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Just got to get the bulldozer in there and friggin' pay him too. God, we got to pay him.
I'm going to break from this. Matt Schultz says Jordan Schultz is his uncle. Is this bullshit? Are you fucking with me? Because Greg also said Matt's relative. Is there actually a Jordan Schultz, Matt Schultz connection here? And if that is, why is he not on here with us right now talking about it?
Yeah. Come on, Matt.
Plug us in, Matt. What do we do?
Come on.
Is that real? Is that a real thing?
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Chad Waits will play guard for $65,000 and garage beer free at his local bar. Those are my terms.
Okay. Signed.
Sold.
Signed. Absolutely.
It's actually a good idea. It's a good time because I'm thirsty. I've been talking a lot.
I am too.
Going straight white.
Station
regular.
Careful.
Regular beer. White can.
All right. Christ. Let's pop these bad boys open before we get canceled. Oh, it's so good. Drew's going with the classic light beer. Wonderful choice. I stick with the lime. I grab the traditional classic light beer when I can. Guys, it's great beer. It's great beer. They keep the lights on here. We say this every show. Yes, it's true. But we actually drink the beer in our off time too. It's that damn good. Drew, again, he's been drinking it since he was like 12 years old. He was drinking it before it was cool to drink it. It's awesome beer. Go get you some. How can they get it? Oh, you walked away. I'll take it. Go to drinkinggaragebeer.com. They got a little beer finder on there. Type in your address or type in your zip code. It's going to show you gas stations, bars, grocery stores, anywhere around your area that has Drinking Garage Beer. It's going to populate on a little map there, and you'll know where to find it. Drinking Garage Beer. It's amazing. Go grab it. Are we back? Oh, okay. What is that?
This is the picture that started it all.
Okay. Yeah. Look at you. Why is that not framed?
I just ripped it off my wall.
Okay.
Is it weird to have a picture of yourself hanging on your own wall? I don't know.
No,
But
I don't think
they printed this out and sent it to me. This was like before, anything. It was just I found this beer. I thought it was good. I gave him a little shout out, and then we just kind of became best friends. So yeah, drinkgaragebeer.com, beer finder, bars, restaurants, gas stations, all the places that you just mentioned. www.drinkgaragebeer.com. I will be drinking many of these on Thursday because they sell them at Great American Ballpark, and that's where I'm going to be.
Yeah, it's
on
good.
Thursday. Best pillow on the planet also. Free ad, whatever that company is.
They do. They sell them at the ballpark too. They sell them at the Blue Jacket Stadium also. They're decently expensive at the Blue Jacket Stadium. I think I was in the hole near $100 drinking them there, but worth every penny because the beer is that damn good. Classic lime and classic light beer. You can't beat it. While Drew hangs up his self-portrait there. You good, buddy?
Yeah. I was just thumbtacking her back in.
Okay.
I do dumb shit, dude. I don't know what made me do all that, but
It's okay. It's not as bad as my Twin Towers picture, so we're good.
yes. My wife asked if I had a picture of her on the wall. I got one around here somewhere.
Nowhere.
So next subject, Josh. Sounds like a jealous wife. Said I agree. I agree.
Oh yeah.
There will be garage beer at opening day. Don't you worry. There are some places at the banks that sell it as well. I have to look it up to remember exactly where to go. Because if you don't sell garage beer, I'm not fucking going.
Yeah, absolutely. We walk around with a backpack full of it every Bengals game. So, we're mobile garage beer dispensers at this point.
As of last year, they did only have the classic. I didn't see any lime last year. Maybe that's an update that Great American has made this year. I don't know.
That'd be nice. Blue Jackets had both lime and classic. So
official beer of the Blue Jackets, I believe now.
I didn't know that. And that's amazing. If
I believe that to be true.
That's amazing. I need to keep up with my sponsorships here. You're getting more love on the buzz cut here.
I mean, I've had it for a while. I'm a big hat guy, but when I get my hair cut, you're not telling me shit for 3 to 5 business days at least. So now that we paid the bills, we got the love for the garage beer out of the way. We got one of these. Dad says, give Trey $28 million and he'll stay. And I think that's pretty close to the number that would do it. I don't think that he actually cares that much about hitting 30 million. I don't think he cares about meeting or beating Max Crosby. I like if he got 30, I wouldn't be shocked, but if he did 28, I wouldn't be shocked either. I think he just wants a deserved raise and some more long-term security. He's scheduled to make like $18 million this year, and that's kind of a slap in the face for the All-Pro, Sack King, Pro Bowler. So yeah, I think 28 to 30 is a range that you could see him done with. He just doesn't. I don't know him personally. I mean, I met him the one time, and that was it. But I don't know this guy's thinking. But when he was like, "Oh,"
he said it. He said, "Look, I'm not looking to like break a record here." Right? I'm paraphrasing. He said, I want long-term security for my family, like you mentioned, and he wants to stay in Cincinnati. And we can make that happen under $30 million, I think. I mean, $28 million. Yeah. Come on. That's long-term security if I've ever heard of it.
And Gatto says, no sympathy for Trey. His dumbass signed the contract. I think Trey has been a little bit misguided by his representation, especially last offseason. Last offseason, I was more on your side with that. Like, you got 2 years on your deal, buddy. Sorry about it. But now we're at a situation where he did just lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, I think he deserves it.
He's going into the final year of his deal, and I understand a guy wanting to know what happens beyond that in a game where you could snap your fucking leg in half and never play again.
Yeah.
So I understand more now, far more now than I did last offseason, because you want to know what's happening next year. Like, do I have a job? Do I not have a job? And let's just face it, dude. He's due a raise. If we don't give it to him now, somebody else will give it to him next year.
We're at a different point.
I see Alex's point, but I just think it's so much different now than it was a year ago.
Yeah, I think we're at a different point than we were last year. Last year, he had 2 years on his deal. That would be paying him very early, right? Now it's the last year of his deal. This is the time you start talking to him. Like I think we're on track here. I think waiting until, like the end of the season when it's like, okay, he's going to walk if we don't, you know what I mean? I think that's too late. I think it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm out of here already. I played my last season with you. Now is the right time to start talking to him. So I think we're doing the right thing here. I think the organization is doing the right thing here if they are, in fact, talking to him and trying to get to a fair, equitable number for both sides.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you said. When is this fucking Reds thing starting? I've had the TV on here forever, and it's not. It's on my illegal streaming thing that I steal, and it's not on.
That might be it.
I don't know who Trey's agent is, but like the leak where he's like he might sit out, like that is coming directly from an agent. And at 31 years old, he's not going to sit out.
No,
and if he did sit out, he doesn't get credit for this year, and the Bengals would just own the next year of his contract when he come back anyway. I am Team Pay Trey. I love Trey Hendrickson. I am so glad he's a Cincinnati Bengal. I hope he's a Cincinnati Bengal for the next few years to come. I hope that they can lock in and get it done. There was a lot of positive momentum towards it, like at this point last week, it felt like, and then it kind of cooled a little bit, but now Schultze's getting back in the game a little bit. So I think that maybe there's maybe some movement happening on there. He is not signed with Rocky Arsenault, but if he did, I'd feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, Rocky
that would be awesome.
A friend to Cincinnati these days. Yeah. I think we're at the point where 99% of the fan base is pay Trey. I think so. I can understand frustration last year, but that was a really weird situation. So I don't know. I don't agree with F Trey. Gatto, fair to you. You can have the opinion you want, but
well, he said, true agent.
Yeah.
So he kind of sees the point. Alex is a guy that you can have that kind of conversation with.
Yep.
Maybe the Reds thing has started in my
Stripe Nation is saying it started an hour ago.
That's what I'm saying. I thought my mom's there. I thought it started at 6:30.
Yeah. You need to just pay for whatever the hell channel it's on. You're getting $40 haircuts. Come on, geez.
Mine thing just says channel live when event airing. So fuck it. Dude, this little less than legal setup I'm rocking right now. I got a new one recently. It is gas, dude. It's good.
Stripe Nation saying he's not sure if it's televised.
Well, the guide says it. The clicker says I should have it.
Oh my God.
We have not done a mock draft yet, Alex. That's going to be coming soon, though. We're getting ready to that point of the off season. But we can talk a little bit about the draft. Why don't you tell me one guy you're really interested in at pick number 17? Who tickles you fancy?
Right now, for me, I am excited about off the field stuff aside. Mike Green out of Marshall. I kind of dove into his tape a little bit. I don't do that. I don't dive into tape, but I've been reading about this guy, been watching this guy, and I think he'd be a hell of a fit. Yes. Does he play at Marshall? Gotcha. Okay. Different competition, but he's so explosive. His hands are so violent. He's so quick. He's got moves. He loves going to the chop, breaking away. His hands never stop moving. If he kind of, gets caught up, if an O-lineman gets him on this side, he's starting to move to the other side. He's always trying to get back there. A tweet came out, Kurt Beckert, and I agree with it. Like it's exactly what I'm thinking. It reminds me of Khalil Mack. I mean, same height, 6'3", same weight, 250, slightly worse shuttle, 20 yard shuttle. Mike Green's got a better 3-cone, hits more reps on the bench, stronger, 17 sacks last year. Very similar build, definitely a little smaller. But quickness is kind of the way of the NFL these days. So if you get a guy like Mike Green in here and you put him opposite of Trey, I just freaking think it would be unbelievable. I get it. We need some interior pass rush. You can still get that. Okay. But I think if you can land a guy like Mike Green, a guy who plays with this violence of action, this quick hands, this desire to get back there and put the quarterback on his ass, and you put him on the opposite side of Trey, oh my God, we'll be sacking quarterbacks left and right.
Now the text from Dad came through. He said loves Green, would be a good pick. Been saying that for a while. My dad told me about Mike Green before the internet told me about Mike Green.
Yeah.
Dad's been tapped in. We talked about that like 2 months ago.
Yep.
Bengals were at his pro day yesterday where it looks like he went bananas. The 3-cone drill, I don't remember the exact time, but I know that there was a tweet from Goodberry saying how impressive it was and like, holy shit, this guy could run the circumference of a dime.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Very good look at the pro day. Very good, production in college. Obviously, it is Marshall, so that can make you wonder a little bit. But Bengals were there. He does have the sexual assault allegations floating around. That's a very serious thing. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I read that he was cleared. I read that, right? Like, obviously, if this guy's guilty of sexual assault, you can't bring him out of the team. That's a no-brainer. Yeah. Guys, we're talking about pick number 17 only here, just to be clear. We're not going to go through the whole draft. It's a little early. We're just, there's only so much you can talk about with free agency with how slow it's been. Obviously, like I just said, if he is accused and found guilty of sexual assault, you can't bring a guy on the team. I read he was cleared of all that crap. So I'm going with that. If I'm incorrect, gotcha, I'm incorrect. But if I am correct and he's cleared and none of that crap happened, 17, I'm going to the podium and I'm drafting Mike Green.
Mike Green, as K Breezy says, also balled out at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
When I see guys at the Senior Bowl do well, I instantly like them more as a draft prospect because they're going against the best of the best, and those guys typically pan out to be good. To the allegation thing with Green, I don't know a ton about it. Not gonna lie to you. I know that sometimes these can be bullshit. Sometimes they're not, and if they're not, they should be taken very, very seriously. Sometimes they're bullshit. Now, when you're Deshaun Watson and you got fucking 30 of them,
yeah,
let's not fucking mince words here. You did that shit, and then God Almighty stripped all of the talent from his body. He's like, you might get $230 million, but you're gonna suck at football forever and get hurt a whole bunch. So things get made up. That we see it a lot. I'm not trying to downplay sexual assault as a serious thing. I'm not being that guy. I'm just saying there is a chance that it could be bullshit. I hadn't seen that he was cleared. He very well may have been. So I'd have to look into it more. But as a pure football prospect, guy looks like an animal. He looks like a freak. And that's a guy that you want on your football team. And, we talked, I know we need guards. Take your risk on his ass because I really think he's one of the few that can actually pan out. And you take calculated risk, right? The Jermaine Burton in the third last year hasn't really panned out. Hasn't been the hit that we were hoping it would be. So yeah, I mean, you can take a chance on the guy, and I'm sure that if they are seriously interested in him, which I imagine they are, since they attended his pro day, they will do their homework extensively on the situation. There was a situation with Jackson Carman a couple years ago after he was drafted that came out, and they said that they did their homework on it. They felt, strongly enough that he did not do that, and it was never really talked about again. So maybe that's the case here. Michael Rolfe.
Pop that up.
20 bomb.
I got it up right now, Mike. I'm reading it right now as Drew talks.
I owe Mike a phone call, and I am a piece of shit. Mike, I've been so busy lately. I'm so sorry. That's not an excuse. I owe you a phone call. I will take a look at the DMs. I like what you're talking about because I know what it's about, and I love the idea of it. The idea of it.
Just answered you, Mike. Just answered you.
I got one too.
I think he probably sent it to you as well.
Yes.
I am interested in all of that, Mike. Let's get on a three-way call this week and let's figure this out. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that all sounds great. So it sounds like we got some fun stuff in the works, guys. But to close out Mike Green, just to close him out, I agree with what Gatto said. I really think he'll pan out. I have a feeling that he's going to come into the league and be good for a team for a long time. And I would really like it if it was the Cincinnati Bengals. He's not obviously Myles Garrett's size, but that story. Myles Garrett gets drafted, total freak, and has been good for the Browns for a long time. I would like that in a young player on the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna circle back to this one from Delmar. I hope you're still here, man. I know this was a few minutes ago. I noticed it. I want to make sure we got to it. He says, "Hey, Drew, big fan. That's lower, like raise your standards, get higher standards. I'm a fucking clown. But any knowledge of garage beer making its way to Virginia? You've been wanting to try it. I know that they're trying to get to all 50 states as soon as possible. They just got to North Carolina. I will check on it. Send me a DM if you got me on Twitter. I'll ask them if we have any kind of a date on that. I'll see if I can get an answer. And then Jose Estrada, do you guys think we'll make some big trades before the season for an offensive lineman? I do not.
I don't either.
I don't. I just they're not a go out and make a big trade team. They never have been. They've broken from their ways with some contracts here recently, but I don't expect them to go out and trade anything unless something falls into their lap that they feel like they really, really have to do.
That's what's our most exciting trade in recent years was Billy Price for BJ Hill, and it worked out.
Yeah.
But when we got BJ Hill, was everybody like, "Oh shit"? No, they weren't. But
Yeah.
hey, it worked out. So that's
Yeah, if it's one of those things, maybe. Looks like in the chat, Michael Rolfe and my wife are making plans to get drunk together. Hell yeah. Appreciate the answer from them. All right, cool, man. Glad you're still here. Glad we got to hit to you. But yeah, I'll check into that, see what I can do. There has been some debate about Longworth. Is Longworth changing because of the bridge construction and shit? I don't know, but Mike might be the guy to know. Mike's a plug guy. And then Jinx, I love the Chris Moldasani with the neck brace picture. Every time I see it, it makes me happy. Hoping the Bengals break their mold for defensive ends they drafted. They decided to take one, need a Green, Pierce Jr. type guy. Yep. Yeah, they haven't always done the smaller athletic guys. They like to draft the big, long guys. You know, the Carlos Dunlaps and those. You know, Miles Murphy is a huge, massive human being.
Yeah.
So I think that is something that they should probably break their tendency from a little bit because the league has gone to such an athletic, sometimes smaller defensive end like a Mike Green. But they didn't go to Marshall's pro day to see a quarterback or a fucking running back. They went to the pro day to see Mike Green. So I would say there's legitimate interest there.
Yep. Agreed. Totally agree. What are your thoughts? Who's your guy at 17?
So I would be fine with Green at 17. Like I'm in on that as a prospect, but you know, we can't have the same guy. But I'm also a big Walter Nolan fan from Ole Miss. So sticking with the D line, but interior, a defensive tackle guy, a disruptor. He's a freak athlete himself. He's good against the run, gets pressure on the quarterback. He can give you that interior rush that the Bengals desperately need. You can look at a very young defensive tackle core, that situation where you have a Walter Nolan, a Chris Jenkins, and McKinley Jackson. There's going to be a youth movement on defense. It has to be that way because we've paid everybody on offense. So there's going to have to be a youth movement on the defensive side of the ball. There is a ton of talent in a defensive line or defensive tackle room with your Chris Jenkins, your McKinley Jackson, your Walter Nolan, and then they just signed a buddy from Green Bay, and I can't think of his name right now because I'm an idiot. Great run stuffer, though. Shout out to you. Sorry, I'll have to learn your name. But so that's a good way to raise the floor of the talent room in your defensive line. And if Green goes at 15 or so, or he flies off the board a little bit earlier and you have to pivot, I think Walter Nolan's a great place to land.
Yeah, I like that we both landed on defense here because it's the need this draft. I mean, we've got, I don't know how much, we got 6 picks this year. I don't remember, whatever. 5 of them should probably be defense, in my opinion, right? I just think that you paid your guys on offense. It's time to put a infusion of youth into that defense and hope these guys work out, right? Because they did not go out and sign Calais Campbell, right? They did not go out and
they still could.
Yeah, they still could. They did not go out and trade for somebody or sign Bosa or something, right? They didn't bring in anybody like that. So the approach is probably going to be draft young, coach them up, and hope they work out. So these 2 would be great guys that'll probably pan out, you know?
Yeah, I think they both have a high chance of being successful, good NFL players. I'm circling back to Rolf here because he's got the inside scoop on Longworth Hall. Great tailgating area. They're taking down part of the building to build the new highway. The bar area and the landscaping area will be gone. Will we still be able to tailgate there? Will there still be tailgates at Longworth? I think is what the world needs to know. That's the question that I would like to get answered because I love starting my day off at Longworth with the Houday boys, Blake going crazy. We're slamming beers, throwing footballs, running routes, playing songs that are maybe a little bit less than appropriate. I love that. I don't want to lose that. So I want to know, will there still be tailgating at Long Beach?
What is the landscaping area, Michael? My brain's not connecting there. It's all paved parking lot to me. Maybe I'm too
State
drunk.
owns the building now.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right.
I get a little bit nervous when the government starts owning shit.
Yeah, me too.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. We'll see. Michael, you got to give us an update then, because we got some stuff we want to make happen. What do we got here? Are you done? Are you done with Walter Nolan?
Yeah, I'm done with Walter Nolan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got distracted.
That's okay. Like I said, I think we're both defensive minded for this draft, right? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, you have to. You have to be. Your needs on offense are guard, and if you go for a guard in the second, third round, cool. But like your impact premium top 20 pick, it's going to have to be a defensive guy. It's going to have to be a guy that you really, really hope pans out. It's like that's just the way it's going to have to be. We're going to have to try to go the Eagles route.
Yeah.
And hit like the Eagles do. That is the position that they've put themselves in. That's the approach that they're clearly going to take. It has to happen. If there's tailgating, are we getting season tickets? We're getting season tickets. We're locking that in tomorrow. We've been talking to the ticket rep and all that. It's all done.
Pull that one back up. Yes, Asante Samuel Jr. Yes, I will take him. Absolutely.
Yes.
If he's available and he's the right price, absolutely, 100%. Marshall safety 40 and a half vertical. I was looking at that. So I saw another comment towards the top. They were talking to Marshall safety as well. So defense. Yeah, there we go. Jerome. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I'd see it. Ew, gross.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
I know that he's got a lot of the physical traits and a lot of that, but I don't want 17 to be a guy that's gonna have to, like, it worked for Whitworth. Like Whitworth played inside before going out to tackle. Yeah, and I get that, but like I just don't feel like we have the time to wait on that. Like we need impact players on the defense, like ASAP. The defense needs 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah, I don't want to see a trade at 17. I there's a lot of people that are like team trade back. Like, no, there's talent there. Let's get a guy. Like, I don't want more picks later for worse guys. I've never understood that. I guess if somebody's like, if you're like a top pick and somebody's like trying to get a quarterback and they give you a king's ransom, but to me, I've never been team trade back. I don't know.
Well, there's 2 schools of thought for that, right? Like a lot of that has to depend on how your draft board falls. If there's 3 guys on your draft board at 17 that you really like, and a team's going to give you a little bit to bump up 2-3 spots to go get Jackson Dart before Pittsburgh can draft him because they fall in love with him as a quarterback prospect, then I do it. Because if you can load up on picks, we're also in the situation where the Bengals need to hit more on draft picks. So the more swings you get, the more chances you have to hit. If you're sitting there at 17 and somebody's afraid Pittsburgh's going to take Jackson Dart at 20 or wherever the hell they draft, they're right around there, and somebody says, hey, we'll give you X, Y, and Z to move up 3 spots, get the guy, and you know you're probably going to get one of the 3 guys that you really love on your board anyway, I'm for it. It just really there's so many variables for that, and so many of those variables you don't know until the draft is happening.
It would to me, it would depend on how far back you're trading. Because like you're the 3 guys, if you trade back 5 spots, all of a sudden they're all taken, and then you're just oops. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just get your guy. That's where I'm at. Just get your guy.
You got to look at it as a situation like, hey, is this team trying to come up 3-4 spots? Okay, do I really think if they're trading up for Jackson Dart, one of those picks before us is going to be a quarterback, so we don't have to worry about it. You got to play the numbers on that. Bengals are more apt to trade down than up, but I would predict that they will probably just stay pat at 17.
Yeah, I hate that we only have 6 picks. Jinx, I agree with you. It sucks.
Yeah, we traded away one for Khalil Herbert, who's
Khalil Herbert for my God.
Yeah, he plays somewhere else now. I don't even know where. But like, so I understand the concept of stockpiling draft picks, because the more swings you get, the better chance you have as a hit. But don't lose out on a Mike Green or a Walter Nolan, or even I like Derek Harmon too, the defensive tackle out of Oregon. I think I like Nolan more than him, but I think Harmon would be a damn good pick too. So like, don't lose out on one of these guys just so you can say, hey, I got 2 extra picks in the mid rounds.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be
don't
angry.
do that.
I would be angry with that. Like, oh, we went and got 2 guys that might work out and missed out on a guy that's probably a home run. I don't know, man. I have no idea.
I could definitely see a trade back somewhere between rounds 1 and 3. I just really hope it's not in 1.
Agree.
Like,
yeah.
If you're sitting there at 49, Ratledge is gone, and you can pick up a couple extras and go back a few slots, cool, whatever. But like, man, those premium picks, those first 2, we need those guys to contribute and to contribute early.
I don't even want them trading back at 49. I just think from pick 1 to like 55, there's a lot of talent. And then it's not like a drop off after that, but like there's just too much there, I think, to just go, we'll trade back 8 spots and just see what's left. I don't know. There are 2 schools of thought. I get why you would do it. But in my opinion, if your guy is there, just fucking go draft him.
Yeah, I completely understand that too. Mm-hmm. When are we cutting Moss and Pratt? I don't know, dude.
No idea.
The Zach Moss thing is really kind of confusing me because like he was gone the back half of the season with the neck injury. He's making $4 million. I don't like you can find a running back 2 pretty much anywhere. So I don't know what the holdup is on that. Yeah, maybe are they trying to see if they can get some draft capital back for Pratt? You know, is Indy going to give up something to reunite him with Lou? I don't know. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what the holdup is on that because as we're talking about the guard situation, like I'm still very confused why they moved on from Alex Cappa with no replacement in place. Because like when they signed Ted Karras, they cut Trey Hopkins after that. They knew that they had his replacement, but they don't seem to have a vision at guard. So like maybe they're just hoping to have their backup plan for Pratt. Maybe that's in the draft. I don't know. I really just don't have the answer for that. And yeah, if Strike Nation says if you trade back in the first, got to be only a few spots and for a good haul. I would agree. And you know, the history of the Bengals is they only take trade offers that they feel like they win. They don't do iffy trades. That most of the trades they make, they feel pretty solid that they won them. They did not win the Khalil Herbert trade though. Fumbled on his first carry, and then now he signed somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
So closing this out a little bit, we got Red on the screen now, rocking the Reds jersey. Reds. I don't know what's going on with this Dragons scrimmage game that they got going on. It looks like it's raining outside, and it's probably pretty cold. My mom is supposed to be there with my grandmother. I have a feeling they may have headed out. I don't know, though. But the Reds, dude, I'm experiencing my first opening day on Thursday. Took the day off work. I'm going to go down there pretty early because I heard it gets fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, going to drink some garage beer in the stadium because, dude, how good is it to know that there's a stadium that sells? We got to get them in Paycor. I don't know what needs to be done. I don't know if I can use that direct line I got to the front office as soon as I hit 20,000 Twitter followers that everybody seems to think I have. But we got to get garage beer in there. But we're going to look at a potential lineup of TJ Friedel in center, Matt McClain back at second base, which is huge. He was so good his rookie year, missed all of last year with that shoulder injury. Really excited to see him back out there with shortstop Elly de la Cruz, the most electrifying man in baseball, maybe the coolest looking guy in baseball because just everything he does, he looks cool as hell. And then left field, you're going to have Hayes. DH is going to be Lux. Third base, Candelario, the Candy Man Can. This is a projected opening day lineup I found on Twitter. I don't know if it's actually the true thing or not. And then I have 2 second basemen on the graphic because I am a complete moron. That should have said first base for Christian Encarnacion Strand. Jake Fraley. Shout out Jake Fraley. Don't know why, but he follows me on Twitter. I like to call him Rake Fraley because he likes to hit piss missiles. Then Trevino at catcher, and then starting pitcher is going to be Hunter Green. So Reds baseball is back now. I've over the last couple of years become a big Reds guy, and I'm excited for the entire experience. I've never been down there. You see the pictures. The Banks is just packed full of people. Honestly, don't know that I love that, but I'm gonna go check it out anyway. Lots of bad shit can happen at big crowds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard it's hard to get a beer. I've heard it's hard to take a leak. There's probably gonna be a lot of street pissing going on, if I had to imagine. Gonna pop over to Moorlines early afternoon, meet up with Ted Karras, holler at the boy there for a little bit. I'm just gonna take it all in, maybe catch some of the parade. I don't know if I'm really fucking winging it going to the. Don't know where I'm gonna park. Don't really know where to go. I just know the Banks is full of fucking people. I know there's a parade route from like Findlay Market to somewhere. So I'm just going to kind of just pop down there, park the car, probably walk across the bridge and just see what happens and then go watch a baseball game.
Yeah, it's awesome. If you have not, I mean, that's exciting. You're going to your first opening day. I remember going as a kid. It's chaos and it's only gotten bigger as time goes on. I'm not going to make it. I got work, but you're
quit your job, dude.
You're going to have fun. I
quit.
can't. I can't. But you're going to have a blast. There's a lot to do. What do we got here, Mike? Jesus.
Mike! Duke at the combine said he wasn't going to pay up for the same team. Bengals done exactly that or worse. Trey isn't re-signed. They didn't sign a top defensive end replacement. Was Duke full of PR bullshit or does he have less power than we thought? I think he has less power than we thought. The more that I look back on that now with how the offseason has played out, I think Duke was almost saying that to put a little bit of pressure on Katie and Troy to throw a little more cash around or change their contract structures or whatever the case has to be. I think Duke was almost trying to put more pressure on them to help himself out. Because you're right, we are paying more money right now for what I would argue is a worse roster. If I have to be completely honest with you, I think it's a worse roster than we had last year. So
yeah, I agree.
Yikes.
I don't know why he said it. Maybe there was a clear, consistent message that they were going to not do that, and it just fell apart before our eyes. Who knows? I'm still glad he said it because I like to hear it, but maybe he does not have the power we thought. You know, who knows? We will see how this all shakes out.
You gonna pop out to Jungle Jam? Jungle Jam. It's July 19th, not March 19th, but July 19th at Newport on the Levee. I think I'm popping out this year. I meant to get down there last year. I didn't make it. Jungle Jam's going to be a great time. And then April 25th going to be a great time at the Folding Warehouse Project Game Day Draft Party. Tickets are moving, boys. Lots of folks from our Discord chat have picked up tickets to that. Head over to @Project Game Day on Twitter. Find out how to buy the tickets, everything about that. Always some cool Bengals events going on in the offseason. Jungle Jam looks fucking phenomenal, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so upset that I didn't get to go last year. I think I'm going to be able to make it down this year.
Yeah,
it looks like a blast, dude.
July 19th. I'm looking at my calendar here. I don't have anything on it.
Well, mark down Jungle Jam. Bengal Jam is a big part of the Jungle Jam thing. He puts on a great party. Jungle Jam is July 19th. Somebody, my wife asked again in the chat. I talked to her about this like 2 nights ago. She just doesn't listen when I speak. I think I've determined that.
Neither does mine. I don't listen when she speaks either. So it's all fair. It's all fair.
I got to tell her all the time, hey, eyes up here, babe, not a piece of meat. All right. I got something working up here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see how this offseason shakes out prior to the draft for the Bengals. Who knows what Duke was saying. A lot of cool events coming up. Sounds like we might have some cool stuff happening with Michael Roth and the boys. Maybe get some familiar faces out there to do some stuff, whether it's content, a live show, some kind of draft thing. I don't know.
I want to get on the roof.
I do too. Lots of stuff in the works. Maybe we can tie ourselves to the roof so they don't destroy the building when they're building the highway. Do some kind of some protesting or something, you know?
I don't give a shit about the building. I just want the parking lot to stay there.
Good point. Yeah.
No, I'm not disrespecting the building. That sounded disrespectful to the building. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. But like my primary focus is like, can I still just drink beers on that cobblestone? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my main focus is.
Yeah. That's our big lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's the most rowdy lot.
They are opening up more parking though. Hilltop Concrete's finally getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
There were some pictures posted today of some stuff getting cleared out there. There's going to be more parking there. They have the proposed, changes to the practice facility to make it all ones. Maybe we just have parking surrounding it. And I'm gonna drink garage beer wherever before the game.
Absolutely.
So figure it out.
Yeah.
But I would like to know if Longworth's staying, because that's like a core memory for me. One time, if my dad's still watching, he went down there. I don't know if he remembers me passing out in the trunk of his car at about 10:30 a.m. When I was in my younger days, but that definitely happened.
That's awesome. Longworth will do that to you. Longworth will do that to you. That's
I started drinking beer at like 5 o'clock that morning.
What game was that? Or were you guys just hanging out?
It was a Bengals Browns game, because some of my buddies are Browns fans, and we were in our partying days. And we got after it. And there was a picture of me laying in the trunk of my dad's old Kia, just catch a little snooze before the game started. Hey. Took my shirt off during the national anthem also. Used to be a much different guy. Different guy.
Got to get that picture somehow and throw it up there. I think this season's going to be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I have a good feeling. I think there's a lot of fun stuff to come, and I think we're going to win some football games.
We have to. I can't take another year like last year mentally. I just can't do it.
It's so much more fun when we're going into deep playoff runs and fighting for a 1 seed and a Super Bowl spot. Let's do that.
I'm worried about like selling kidney for playoff tickets.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. We're at like 56 minutes here, approaching an hour.
Shout out Michigan. Are you a Michigan fan, John? Go Blue, baby. What's up, dude? I hope you are. If you're a Michigan State fan, get the fuck out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we hit an hour here. Comments rolled in. We covered a lot today. We bitched about the guard spot. We bitched about Trey Hendrickson. Hopefully we get to celebrate that soon. Drew and I gave you picks we would be comfortable with at 17. I chose Mike Green. He chose Walter Nolan. I think would both be excellent additions to this defensive line. And then we read through some comments here, So, hey, we talked about the Reds too. So what, I don't know what else you got, Drew. Yeah. New Hampshire, man, we're worldwide here.
We're
I don't know what else you got.
We're a nationwide program.
Yeah, we really are. I don't know what else you got here, Drew. But I got nothing left but a who day.
Well, I do want to tell you that Thursday, get on the BetJack Sportsbook if you have it. If you don't, just download it.
Yeah.
Bet on Elly De La Cruz to hit on. He's hitting a piss missile on opening day. It's happening. I'm going to bet it. I want to see it happen live. And we got one more here at the buzzer. He says Michigan is in trouble with the NCAA. Can't wait. The NCAA is a crock of horse shit. Everybody hates the NCAA until their feelings get hurt because they can't beat Michigan, and then they want the NCAA to come save them. Michigan's fighting back. Michigan's got money. They got lawyers. They're going back at them. I ain't worried about nothing. They're gonna give you some bullshit, a couple scholarships here or there. No post-game ban. No postseason bans. Bryce Underwood's going to lead us to the promised land. Fuck the NCAA. Pay the players all the money.
You're stupid. That's good though. Support your college team.
The text comes. I answer the text. You know what I'm saying? That's how this works.
You answer it with some chess there too, which
the people count on him. They count on the text from that. They love it.
It's my favorite segment of the show. Text from Dad is my favorite segment of the show. I love that.
Michael Ruff believes that the tailgate area will stay. That's what's most important. It's a beautiful building, lots of history. All due respect to the building, but I just want to make sure that parking lot's still there.
Yeah, agree, 100%.
And can you talk to somebody and tell them to stop charging me $60 fucking dollars? Jesus.
Dude, do you remember? Okay, do you remember? I don't know. 10 years ago, it was like $15-$20 to park in there. Do you remember that?
I remember sliding in there for 30 for sure.
Yeah. I think maybe 20 or 30 is probably more realistic, but is it 60 now?
It's $60 fucking dollars, dude.
My God.
That's why I get somebody's parking pass off Twitter and I just walk over. I'm not paying $60 to park my fucking car. And it's a pain in the ass to get in and out of that place.
You got to get there early. Otherwise everyone's touching your car and you're trying to park your truck in a compact spot and everybody's making fun of you. You got the Who Day boys trying to back you into a spot you're clearly not going to fit in. Woo, you don't get there early. It's a fucking mess.
But Mike, I saw your DM. I plan to return it. We do need to get on a phone call here soon.
Yeah.
We were supposed to talk on the phone before this. I'm a piece of shit. I don't know how else to say it. I'm a scumbag, terrible person, scum of the earth. I'm going to finish this beer.
Let's get a three-way call going and figure some fun stuff out. finish it.
I heard three-way and it threw me off. I was like, what?
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, Who Day.
Hey, let me find the video. Shit. Very unprepared. Hey, you know what we didn't do though?
Second of the season. And the Bengals go up again.
That was complete.
That needs to. Maybe I redo our intro. No, I like just hitting the button. Who Day.
Your boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beer's getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go. Our boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beer's getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go.